Hi, I'm here today with John Viera of Ford. Hello, John.
Hello.
Glad to have you here with us today. First, you gave a fantastic presentation, and first thing I wanted to get some more ideas from you, and you could explain is the near term, and the midterm, and the long term vision for sustainable vehicles.
Sure. Well, great point, because as we lay out our strategy, we have laid it out in chunks, this near term, midterm, and long term. So what we're trying to do is we're saying that we need to improve fuel economy or reduce CO2 from our vehicles in ever increasing amounts. So we broke up the time frame in those three periods. The near term is like the next 2 to 3 years. So what are we doing with our vehicles in the next 2 to 3 years? The midterm is 3 years to 10 years, and then the long term is 10 years and beyond. So when we talk about those chunks, in the near term is going to be all about improving the internal combustion engine. We have something called EcoBoost, where rather than continuing to add more cylinders to vehicles, we're actually backing off on the number of cylinders, and through technology, we're actually able to give the performance of more cylinders with the fuel economy of less cylinders. So that's pretty core to our strategy, because in the near term, we can make those changes quickly. But also in the near term, we're going to be looking at vehicles running on different types of fuels. Ethanol, natural gas, propane, those types of fuels make sense for certain customers, so we want to make those available to them. And then we're also introducing in the near term electric vehicles. So they're not going to be high volume, because we're really all about at Ford affordable transportation. So when we can get those electric vehicles affordable, that's when we'll see them in high volume. But in the near term, we're going to introduce them. In the midterm, you're going to see more electric vehicles, even greater number of EcoBoost engines in our gasoline vehicles, and we're also going to take out a lot of weight in our vehicles in the midterm, because if the vehicle weight's less, it takes less energy to move it, and we're going to be much better off using less fuel in those vehicles. And then in the long term, we're really talking about vehicles running on electricity and hydrogen. So those are the three periods and what we're doing in those periods.
Could you tell us about your material strategy in terms of closing loops and not producing less virgin materials, and then also on the biobased and soy and fantastic things going on there?
Yeah, fantastic. So when we talk about materials, first of all, from a recycling standpoint, we want more and more of our vehicles to be recycled. Actually, today, a lot of people don't know, 95% of all U.S. vehicles get recycled. In comparison, 50% of all newspapers and 30% of all pop bottles. So we're way high on the screen in terms of how the percentage of our vehicles that get recycled. What we want to do is obviously get that to 100%. So that's the first step. But then the second step is when we talk about the materials going into the vehicle, we want to use more renewable materials. So a renewable material would be, for instance, using soy-based material for the foam in our seats versus petroleum-based for the foam in our seats. So we want to look at renewable materials and actually recycled materials going into our products. So a good example is, if you ever to see any of the black components on your vehicle, so in the wheel wells, if you were to open your hood, you have these black air deflectors. The majority of those parts are actually made with recycled pop bottles. So we could actually take waste streams from other industries, use that content as input in the parts that we're making. So we want to do more and more of that.
Interesting. So if we want to learn more about the work that you're doing, where do we find you on the web?
So you could go to www.ford.com/go/sustainability. It will take you right to our online sustainability report, and you can learn all you want to know about what we're doing in this space.
Great. Thank you for your time today, John.
Okay, thank you.